Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Proto and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 3 best free game recording and screen recording softwares for the PC. And before we start, I just want to thank everyone for reaching an awesome achievement of 2,000 subs. This is really insane. I just want to thank each and every single one of you. Whether you've been watching my videos for a week or for a year, all the support is majorly appreciated and I wouldn't be here without you, so thanks a ton. Also, my voice is a bit off today since I am under the weather, but anyway, let's get into it. So the top 3 best game recording softwares are Nvidia ShadowPlay, AMD Gaming Evolved, and of course OBS, the multi-platform version that is. So of course there's paid software like Fraps and DxStory, but I personally think Fraps is outdated due to the heavy amount of system resources and the file sizes are extreme as well. DxStory on the other hand is insanely good, but only if you want to manually record. So starting with ShadowPlay, chances are you've heard of it and this is the one I'd recommend if you have an Nvidia GPU, just because it works so damn well. Now if you do have an Nvidia GPU from within the last few generations, it can run it, so even something like a 750 Ti will still be able to record through this. Now ShadowPlay is extremely easy to set up and captures pretty much anything. It can record up to 4K at 60 FPS, for most people, myself included, I like to record at 1080p 60 FPS and I do that with a 50 megabits per second bitrate. Due to the NVENC video encoder for hardware accelerated video recording and compression, it takes advantage of the H.264 encoder on the GPU, allowing you to get some really high quality videos from it. And just like all the softwares I'm featuring today, it can not only record manually, but Nvidia also has a shadow mode. This is basically OBS's recording buffer or Elgato's flashback recording. You set a specific time and when you press a hotkey in-game, it'll record those last few minutes, like a timeline of footage. Now the shadow extends all the way up to 20 minutes, but I found that 2 minutes was enough for me to capture a good play or highlight. And you can also add a microphone as a recording device and set up more hotkeys if you want to stream, etc. Now as mentioned, the fact that it does magic through the H.264 encoder means there'll be almost no performance loss. You might lose a frame, maximum 2, but as far as what I use for YouTube on a daily basis, this is my #1 tool for recording gameplay. The one problem with this is that whilst ShadowPlay has a very high image quality, some of it is lost through compression unlike what you see of Fraps or DxStory. That said, it does keep the file sizes down and allows you to record at 50 megabits per second, which is still a really high quality. So yeah, overall I recommend this if you use an Nvidia GPU because of its simplicity, ease of use and a very good option for recording. Now the second software lined up is the AMD equivalent to ShadowPlay. I am of course talking about Raptor, or more commonly known as AMD Gaming Evolved. Now I'm not going to cover this in depth just because it's the same as ShadowPlay but with a few extra drawbacks. So it can record 1080p at 60 FPS and also has a manual mode and a recording buffer like ShadowPlay, though anything past 14 minutes for the buffer is limited to 720p. So the software can't record anything above 1080p, and whilst it does record at 60 FPS, I will tell you that I did find the frame rate to vary inconsistently between 57 and 59 FPS. It also uses a different compression, and whilst it does give you little performance hit and small file sizes, it for some reason looks worse and less clear than ShadowPlay. Now for example, look at my most recent videos, and these are all done through ShadowPlay, but my $1,000 build was recorded through AMD Raptor. It's also more difficult to set up than ShadowPlay and use some shitty service called plays.tv, which I really didn't see the point of. Regardless, it will still do 1080p at 60 FPS, which doesn't look terrible, so folks who have an AMD card, I recommend using this. I do however have to give huge props to AMD for making this open source for everybody. So while ShadowPlay is specific to Nvidia users, this program can be used on any GPU provided it meets minimum requirements. And one last thing with the software is that during setup, make sure you disable all the crap that they put into the options such as promotion, game scanning, and use of libtorrent, etc. These are simply turned off by unchecking the boxes after it's been installed, and that's all you have to do. And lastly is OBS multi-platform, which is pretty complicated, but great. And once you get used to it, it gets a lot easier. So with this, you have unlimited control over frame size, frame rate up to 60 FPS, and bitrate, as well as compression settings. Now if you do want to live stream and record a local file, you can do that as well. And OBS multi-platform is basically an updated, more feature-rich version of OBS. Now what I like about OBS is that it allows you to add overlays, webcams, video files, etc. really easily. Now you can also do that in ShadowPlay and Raptor, but this gives you a lot more customization. And this is all compressed into one video file, so if that's for you, then definitely take a look at it. And this also supports multiple audio channels, so in a third-party editor, you can independently change your mic, gameplay, and voice chat levels. And this is a really good software, but the cons are pretty significant. Firstly, it's very CPU bound, so it's not going to be the easiest to record games at 1080p 60 FPS if you have a low-end CPU. Also, there aren't any in-game GUI notifications, meaning it's easy to make a mistake with your recording, and whilst it does have a recording buffer, setup of that is generally a lot easier to set up than the others. Overall this, it is a great piece of software, especially if you want to live stream and record games. So in summary, if you have an Nvidia GPU then use ShadowPlay, Raptor or AMD Gaming Evolve for AMD cards, and OBS if you want more functionality and control, with sacrificing ease of use and convenience initially for that. I also just want to point out many people who have AMD Gaming Evolve say it's crap, and for me using it I have to say that I wasn't entirely satisfied either. That said, it would hold up for gameplay clips on YouTube, so I wouldn't worry about that too much, and then you have also paid options like Fraps or DxTory, but those are becoming less relevant as free softwares become more convenient and accessible. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed. Download links are in the description, so be sure to check those out. Like this video if it helped you out, and subscribe to stay up to date with my content. Thanks for the love everyone, this is Proto, later.